Hello and welcome, BBR fans. Today we have the semifinals of, BBR. So anyways, this is our opponent, Diet Tight, Jason, some call him, And yeah, so here's the team that I built for it. We have Terrapagos, which is going to be max speed to tie the Quaquaval, and then it's just a Calm Mind Dark Pulse. It's really possible for him to go for maybe a Spike Stack plus Terra Ghost Salamence angle. That's the reason why I'm not Ice Beam over Dark Pulse. And also just like, it's a reasonable coverage move in general. Hits the Sinistcha, which is the important bit. And then it also, if I need to flinch a Jeeking, I can go for it, you know what I mean? But mostly just for that Ghost Salamence option. That's the Dark Pulse angle. Rapid Spin Calm Mind, I mean, it's kind of just based around getting the spin off if I really need to. I can just brute force past the Sinistcha, maybe remove the webs, maybe remove the spikes and rocks, There's a lot of hazards on his team. So anyways, yeah. Lando T, gonna be physically defensive-ish, pretty fast. I have a Yachi Berry and Rock Tomb on my Stealth Rock Lando. So Rock Tomb is so that Salamence can't DD on me, and stuff like Darkrai, I can live with my Yachi Berry, but since I'm defensive, EQ doesn't kill back. So a Rock Tomb into an EQ, that puts my kill range quite a bit higher versus that Darkrai. Yeah. So yeah. This is also creeping an Adamant Mamoswine, which I don't see a real reason for him to be Jolly, so felt pretty comfortable creeping that. Next up is my Keldeo, which can be Boots, just max speed, max special attack. I'm speed tying Galvantula. A lot of speed ties here, so a lot of 252s, Just Calm Mind 3 attacks is my win condition. Webs, are annoying if I can't spin, so Boots kind of alleviates that issue. So Secret Sword and Terra Blast Ghost. This is unresisted coverage, of course, Ghost fighting always is. But here it's particularly strong because all of the fighting resists are actually weak to Ghost. The Sinistcha, the G-King, I guess the Salamence is the one exception, but it's a Terra Immense. It could be anything really. Hard to predict exactly what it's going to be. I mean, it has a few options here, right? The Mence, it can go Terra Steel to try to get through my Clefable with a DD set. It could be Terra Flying just because I have no flying resist. It could be Terra Ghost, like I said before, to try to spin block plus hazard stack. A lot of options here for the Salamence. Could also even be Terra Fire, honestly. I thought that was possible as well. Beats the Clefable and the Scizor pretty handily, so there's that. But anyways, Calm Mind Keldeo. If I'm able to get 2 hazards off on the Darkrai, Vacuum Wave will kill it +1, assuming no Chople. And then really the only thing that takes a hit is the Mence itself, which honestly, trading HP on my Keldeo for the Mence could be worth it in some endgames. Next up is my Clefable, which is, doing the absolute best it can to contain the Mence this week, just max defense unaware. If he is DD Mence, this thing will completely shut it down unless it is Terra Steel, or like Terra Poison I guess, but Terra Steel is just better here, pretty sure. I guess you could be Terra Poison, but then you're weak to Lando. Same as Steel though, so whatever. You get the point. Clefable, we're trying our best out here for the Salamence. If it is banded, then it will just 2-hit KO me. If it's Scarf, Scarf Terra Flying does not 2-hit KO me, and I have Cosmic Power and Calm Mind. This is so, potentially I can just sweep him. Alright, if the G-King is not Calm Mind, my Clef just beats it 1v1. So there is that. Klefki can't really 1v1 me either, so it's a pretty strong win condition here if I'm able to get these setup turns. Then I have Scizor with Choice Banded Bullet Punch. This is kind of a catch-all on Salamence Terras that are not resisting Steel, of course. Banded Scizor, also really nice into the G-King. And then Dual Wing Beat is actually super strong coverage into him. The Quaquaval is the most likely switch into Scizor, as you don't really want to be taking chip on your Mence if you don't have to. So I'm expecting Quaquaval to be the initial switch in. So his Dual Wing Beat just OHKOs that, obviously. And then, Bullet Punch, Knock, U-Turn, classic Scizor stuff. Yeah, and then Hydreigon, this is Modest Life Orb, Max Speed. This actually speed ties Quaquaval technically, but I felt like it was worth it to get the modest rolls that I was looking at. Basically, Modest Life Orb Draco, very strong. Dark Pulse, very strong, and yeah. My last move is actually Roar, because I don't want to be setup fodder after a -2, which could be a very real possibility. If he is like a neutral defensive typing on Salamence, and I'm -2, I don't want him to get a free DD. I don't want Quaquaval getting a free Aqua Step on me. I don't want Sinistcha Calm Minding. I don't want G-King Calm Minding. You know, all that stuff. And then I guess the Dunsparce as well, another setup threat. He's kind of stacked with those, so I do have Roar on my Hydreigon. Anyways, that's pretty much going to be the team. Again, the game plan really is set rocks up, force a few switches, and when the team is a little bit weakened, go into my Keldeo, try to find a Calm Mind opportunity, and yeah, that's going to be pretty much it. Let's get right into the game. Hello BBR fans, we're back with semifinals, and yeah, so it is Terra Flying on the Salamence, and yeah, so my plan was always lead Hydreigon unless there is a Mamoswine, then I'll lead Scizor. But yeah, basically win condition is the Keldeo. Calm Mind Terra Ghost is very strong. I need 2 rocks for Vacuum Wave to KO Darkrai. Everything else, pretty much dead, right? At +1, +2, really dead. You know what I mean? So, we'll go ahead and lock that in. Here we go. Right. So, gotta lead Salamence. This is my Scizor. I don't want to get like Fire Blasted turn 1. I'm just going to go into my Clef, Intimidate here, so makes me think it's probably going to be Dragon Dance. I am unaware specifically for that. And if he's banded, he's banded, right? Banded will 2-hit KO, everything else I will be fine versus. We're just gonna go Clefable here. I mean, Clef versus his own Klefki and Slowking Galar, kind of hard to get stuff going offensively, so I'm just gonna switch into this Salamence. We get to find out a little bit about his spread here. Potentially item. Could see a DD on the lead Scizor. Like, lead DD does make some sense. It's Terra Flying. And if this 2-hit KOs, he's banded. If not, we're fine. Might be banded, guys. Might just be. So we are max defense Clef, however, that is a banded Salamence. So we just have to sack here. I mean, I brought Clef for basically any other Salamence. We would be okay. But banded, I just can't defensively check it. Let's see. What are my options here? If I get an Intimidate on this, how am I looking? So Terra Blast is a roll to 2-hit KO my Lando after Intimidate. So do I want to go Lando and Rock up? Because I do want to limit this Salamence, because it's not Boots, right? That's guaranteed, it's banded. So I'm thinking if I could Rock Tomb as well, but if the switch into Landorus is probably going to be Quaquaval, if anything. But it like rocks on spin. Net, not very good for me, you know what I mean? My Hydreigon will just die from full, unfortunately. So I think we have to go Landorus and Intimidate it. I don't think he stays in on this. And I really want rocks up. We get the Intimidate. He doesn't really have good switch-ins to Lando, though. I mean, outside of Quaquaval. So maybe he'll just go Quaquaval. I don't know, I can't exactly Rock Tomb in this position very safely, so I'm just going to Stealth Rock. He does switch, probably into Quaquaval, if I had to guess. Maybe into Mamoswine, we'll see. There is the Mamoswine. I am Yachi Berry, and I'm creeping Adamant Mamoswine here. So I could very well go for an Earthquake or a U-turn here, depending on what I want. I'm expecting a Rocks here. Rocks trade makes a whole lot of sense. He doesn't really want to Icicle Crash into a Scizor or a Keldeo. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So I'm just going to go for a U-turn. I should be faster. If he wants to Shard, I'll have my Yachi Berry and I'll live, and I get momentum. So U-turn, break a potential Sash. Seems pretty good. We are faster as expected. That did nothing. Oh my god. Is that Vizdev? Hold the telephone. U-turn. That is very bulky Mamoswine. At least max HP, right? Anyways, I think we probably go to Terapagos to get the immediate spin on a Rocks, and if he does attack, then I have my Shell. I think that's okay. Right? Do I go this? Maybe. I'm gonna go Terapagos, I think. I don't want to take chip on my Keldeo or my Scizor. The HP is actually quite valuable. Maybe arguably more valuable than Terapagos. So I'm going to go to Terap. Starstorm will do a lot to this thing. If he just decides to attack, I am max speed, guaranteed faster than this. Does go for Rocks. I should get a free spin here. No problem. I could even Starstorm and spin next turn, but I think I'll just immediately spin. Unless Starstorm is a roll to KO this. With that amount of bulk, I doubt it. Terapagos dash T. Yeah, Starstorm never kills, so I'm just going to spin. Should be pretty free. If he stays in, he'll break my shell. I'm okay with that. And that should be Starstorm range. We'll see though, it might not be. Earthquake will break my shell. As expected, we get to see how much attack investment he has. That looks to be max attack. Right, we're just gonna Starstorm. Pretty safe stuff. If he wants to go Klefki, he can. He's just gonna stay in. Does he die? He dies, so no Rocks. Sweet. That's really good. We're +1 speed. Mamoswine's dead. Alright, so 1 for 1 with Mamoswine and Clef, basically, and both accomplished very little. Now, what can he do here? He could go Klefki. He could go Quaquaval. If he goes Quaquaval, I might just stay in and attack. Because chip on Quaquaval is really important for me. That's my win path, right? That's his spinner. If he wants to go for a spin on my Terap, I'm max speed, so worst case is a tie the next turn. Donald Duck. I might just Starstorm this. Because my Clef is dead, right? And Clef is my check to this thing. I want chip on this for my Scizor, for my everything. I want chip on this. Starstorm. I'm happy trading my Terap for this. Does a lot of damage. Do we see a spin? We see a step. This is a speed tie. This is a speed tie. If he's max Jolly, it's a speed tie. If he's Scarf, then it's not a speed tie, but what can you do about it? Hopefully we win this. He thinks we're not max speed, I think. Win the tie. Yes, okay. 2 for 1 for Terapagos. Let's go. And I get chip on something else. So Quaquaval's dead, no spinner, Rocks are up, Salaman's at 75, everything else, you know, the usual. Really good progress here. I'm recording, right? We double check. We are recording. Nice. Now, Slowking does come in. Now, versus Slowking, I can do a few things. I can go hard to my Lando. Do I need Lando HP? Max HP with Yachi allows me to live a Darkrai hit, but I don't think that's the biggest deal when I have everything able to live a Darkrai hit naturally. Is it? So would I rather just get chip on this, learn a bit about the spread, and potentially even Calm Mind on it with my Keldeo? No, I would go Hydreigon and Dark Pulse, I think. I could also keep this as a sack and go Lando and Earthquake. If Mence comes out, I sack Terapagos. I think that's just worse than staying in and getting a KO with my Hydreigon after. So I'm going to Terra Starstorm. Maybe you could say Dark Pulse is better to break a potential Culverberry, but I think Starstorm does a little bit more damage. I'm okay with that. So how much did that do? Slowking -G. It looks to be Spadef G-King. So I'm going to go Scizor and U-turn. I think that is pretty safe. Hydreigon might not kill. We are modest Life Orb though, but I don't want Klefki coming in for free. That's kind of annoying because I lost my spinner and spikes could start going up. I don't really want... I guess spikes only hits Scizor at this point, so I'm not really actually too worried about that. But still, U-turn might be my best play anyways. Let me just double check. U-turn does 56 min to his G-King. Knockoff will obviously kill. And if he stays in, he's going to Flamethrower. So I'm going to go Scizor. Get off a fatty U-turn. Maybe we'll see a Klefki come in. That's definitely possible. But it looks like it's in range of U-turn. So I'm just going to go for it. And our Keldeo is looking pretty good in this endgame. The only worry is, of course, a T-Wave Klefki. But Klefki should come in here, unless he wants to go Salamence on the U-turn. Something's taking a big U-turn, and I think it's going to be Klefki. Cogsworth, that's Klefki. So we get to see if this is Helmet or not, which will be big information. But that did about maybe 12%, I want to say. Let's calc that. Klefki, so it looks to be max defense. Just straight up max def. So my Hydreigon, with Life Orb Modest Flamethrower, does 74 to 87. Is that worth going for that roll? Because it could very well be Magnet Rise for my Lando. I think I want to go Hydreigon here. I think that's my play. I'm just going to go for a Flamethrower. He could think Specs, or he could think Fire Blast. Looking at that with my eyes, it looks in range of Flamethrower. We're going to find out here. You can't really switch into this guy unless he wants to go hard Salamence, take a lot of hits. Goes for Light Screen. Okay, fair enough. I'm fine with that. This should 2-hit KO. Yes, it does. Very comfortably. He could switch here. That's something that he could do. Is he going to? Maybe G-King can come here, but I have Dark Pulse follow-up. Even behind screen, it's going to do a lot of damage. And Salamence can come in, but that's Rocks, Flamethrower. He'll KO me, sure. But that's all the chip I need for my Keldeo. So once the screens go down, seems pretty good. So this is going to be dual screen, spikes, foul play maybe? So maybe he can't even hurt my Hydreigon. Maybe he has to switch here. But Dark Pulse is kind of reasonable here. I could also... I don't want to double Lando. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I'm just going to Flame for my guaranteed chip, I think. I don't know, I really want a Dark Pulse. I'm going to Flame. Stay in? Okay, stays in for dual screens. Okay. But I'm not -2 from Draco. I do have Roar to prevent setup if he wants to go Darkrai and try to set up. I will just immediately Roar that thing out. I don't want to deal with a +2 Darkrai. I think that's my play, right? He could go Salamence and just claim his kill, but he's Adamant, which we know from the Clefable roll. So he's not actually guaranteed to be faster than my Hydreigon in his mind anyways. It's kind of an aggro creep. That looks like the Darkrai. It is a Darkrai. We see no boots. Now, let's see. What do I actually have to stop this? We have Banded Bullet Punch. We have Vacuum Wave. But is that enough after a Draco? We could very well Draco here. I think if he lets us, Draco is perfectly reasonable. If he Nasty Plots, we'll die next turn, but the Draco chip will be enough so that my Vacuum Wave... It could be Chople, actually. Maybe I just don't want to deal with the BS. I don't know, if I roar into Salamence, that's also bad. So I'm just going to Draco, I think. I think it's okay. Goes for Focus Blast. He does land. This is going to kill us, yeah. Do we see Life Orb? We do not. Okay. So we could go Scizor here, use our Scizor HP. It could burn us. That's the bad thing. We could go Keldeo and not Terra. But then that's just a free G-King. We have so many turns of screens left. So let's see. I don't want to go Lando. I think we just go Scizor and U-turn. If he burns us, he burns us. If he hits Hypnosis, he hits Hypnosis, right? I don't think I can play around those anymore. The 3v3, Scizor, Keldeo, Lando versus Mence, Slowking, and Darkrai. Make sure we live a Specs Focus Blast, actually. Scizor. I don't have time to calc this. I'm just going to go Scizor. It looks like we live. Yeah, we should. Okay. This should just be a free U-turn. I don't see a reason why we wouldn't want to U-turn. So we're just going to go for it. Goes for a knockoff, gets rid of our band. I'm okay with that, I think. That does decent damage. So that's in Vacuum Wave range after the screen is gone. So Dark Pulse, Focus Blast, probably Dark Pulse, Ice Beam. Do I go Lando here? Lando, I have Yachi for Ice Beam. I get off a U-turn into my Keldeo. And I Vacuum Wave. I think that works. Do I need HP on Lando? Is the question. Or would I rather take chip on my Keldeo? Because that's the other option. I could totally do that. No, G-King's just going to come in for free. But I can switch into G-King. I'm going to preserve HP on my Lando for the Salamence and the G-King. Because my Lando is really good outside of taking on the darkrai. We're going to go to this guy. We're able to eat a Psychic, no problem. We get to go for a Secret Sword here. If he swaps to G-King, that's more rocks and more screen turns wasted. And I can switch in on G-King to my Lando, and it's probably fine. He could Chili out. That's something that could happen, but I'm prepared for that. We're just going to Secret Sword. He stays into Sludge Bomb. No poison? No poison. He is Chople Berry. Okay, we expected this. But Vacuum Wave should follow up. That's Rock's range. And actually, that's better for me because it wastes another turn of screens. So I reveal no specs here by going for Vacuum Wave, but that's fine with me. Alright, it's getting close here. It's getting close. But the Darkrai is going to die this turn. Yep, there it is. Dead Darkrai. It's just G-King and Salamence. Salamence is at 75 after rocks. And pretty soon these screens are going to go down. Salamence can't DD. We know it's choice banded. Here comes the Salamence. Now the question is, do I stay in and Terra Blast it? How much does that do? Let me check the light screen turns. Let's see, how do I do that again? Y? Here. 2 turns of light screen. Okay. Here's my question. Do I sack this? I totally sack this. It's not even a question, right? I Terra? And Terra Blast, right? I get my chip on this thing. My Lando comes in, I Rock Tomb, and the game ends. I'm pretty sure that's a win for me. I'm pretty sure. Right? It's gotta be. This has to be correct. There's no other play that I would consider making here. We're going to Terra Blast. It's getting close, guys. It's a close endgame for sure. But between my Scizor knockoff and my Lando EQ, I should be totally chilling versus G-King. So this is the last remaining threat for me. I want to just chip it. Not a lot of damage, but I think enough. That's gonna kill me, of course. So, light screen. Yeah, he's just offensive. So my Lando T. I'm just making sure my lines work here. Rock Tomb might be a roll. Might be a 2-hit KO. It's hard to say. Regardless, I think we have to go Lando, right? Do we go Scizor and Bullet Punch first? No, that can't be right. Surely. Because he would reset the Intimidate, come back in. Maybe I'm still okay with that? Hold on. I'm not banded anymore. Bullet Punch would do about 20. And then I Rock Tomb and I win? Question mark? No, I think I want my Scizor higher HP. I'm gonna go Lando. This might... I'm not 100% sure on this. Because Rock Tomb is not guaranteed to 2-hit KO this, is the thing. But he's not guaranteed to 2-hit KO me either. So we gotta hit a Rock Tomb. Let's hit a Rock Tomb. The Terra Blast comes out. This should do about half, give or take. Ooh, is that a crit? Wait, that's not a crit? How does that do so much? I'm physically defensive. What? Oh, it's special. It's specs. It's specs Salamence. That makes so much more sense. Well, we lived anyways, but Rock Tomb definitely not going to KO. So it comes down to Scizor versus G-King. We're not banded anymore. Do we U-turn? Hold on. One turn of Reflect. No, we can't U-turn. We can't. It's not possible. No, we just Rock Tomb, I think. And we have to hope Scizor beats the last Mon G-King. Okay. G-King Flamethrower is the worst case. It just KOs my Scizor, so it comes down to can he live knockoff and or does he have Flamethrower? That's what it comes down to. Reflect is gone. Scizor in. I really hope he doesn't have Flamethrower. But yeah, here we just Bullet Punch. It's free. Bullet Punch. Maybe I should have gone Scizor first. I mean, it's gonna be a good game either way, no matter who wins. Reflect is gone. Knockoff does 69 min. It looks like he's out of range. Does he have Flamethrower? This is the question. Go for knockoff. Nothing we can do at this point. We just have to see. Knockoff. It doesn't kill. Do his flame? It was Shookaberry, so the Lando route didn't win either. And that's going to be the game. GG to Diet Tight. Really close one. Yeah. G-King ends it off. And that's going to be it. Spec Salamence. I thought it was going to be banded. But yeah. I guess that's exactly the same damage roll in my Clef anyways, so GG to him. Kind of happy to be done with Wi-Fi, to be honest at this point. Just want to focus on DPL to be real. But that's going to be it for me. He advances to the finals, and yeah, see you in the next one. Peace.